G'day guys, Jeff here, and this is the first part of Domination Chess. It's going to be firing range, which will be split into two parts, and I have a very special guest, someone who shoots down all of my air support and probably needs no introduction to my channel, and that's Hypermole. G'day Gary.
Hey bud, thanks for having me.
So Hypermole is going to help me out and provide the opposition, and I'm going to take opening flag A. But first, let's talk about first perk slots. We won't cover this in all the Domination Chess series, but we'll just go through a few just to give you guys some ideas. Lightweight, love using it if my base flag is considered to be poor. For instance, I start at Charlie and I want the Alpha Bravo flags. A good example of this could be WMD or Jungle, where trapping a certain flag just seems to be easier with the spawn affinity compared to starting at another base flag. Scavenger, well, Scavenger is okay for people who are using rapid fire SMGs, but generally most of the maps can lend themselves to being an assault class, and if that's the case, Scavenger isn't really on my hit list too often unless it's Scavenger Pro with Warlord Pro. Ghost doesn't have too many great initial uses aside from the camouflage, and obviously people aren't going to get their spy planes up that often. But if your team's doing their job, spy planes aren't really a concern, and Ghost shouldn't be really needed that often. Flak Jacket is the bread and butter of domination, especially if you're taking Bravo, retaking Bravo, or holding Bravo. And Flak Jacket, obviously, its major weakness is the spy plane and the fact that you need multiple nades thrown at it to create to kill someone, means that it ends up being one of the best perks for Bravo. Hardline users, I prefer them to stay back at their flag because they can pick up a couple of kills and they're not put themselves in the Bravo battle, but they could also come forward if we need help on Bravo.
The Killstreaks we run in Domination normally don't go any higher than 8 because if you go any higher, people rage quite like crazy. So the highest one we will run is the Blackbird, and you'll see on the screen it's normally Spy Plane, Napalm, Blackbird. The Spy Plane and the Blackbird are very self-explanatory. The Napalm, as well as maybe the Mortar team, can be used as a defensive killstreak to cut people off from getting from flags, from their base flag to another flag, and a defensive one if they're taking one of your flags.
Okay, so it's Jeff here again, and I'm going to do the opening for A flag. We'll just do a quick overview of what we're going to go through, and then I'll split it down into the per player view. So the overview is we have a single person taking Alpha here, multiple people hitting Bravo up with different coverage points, and there's someone or some people being prepared to recover Bravo should the people who take Bravo miserably fail. So looking at player one, which is me, I throw a couple of flashes because even at distance they do work a little bit, and even though my Semtex just misses and sticks on the building there, a little bit further to the right is a perfect placement for taking that car out, and we'll get to that later because there's multiple people in the team who have that role as well. Player 2's role is to just post up on the trailer as quick as possible, even though someone clips him there, which you don't really want to do. Putting a claymore down just gives you a little bit of extra time for protection or warning, and that person can cover Bravo. If the Bravo team happen to fail on capturing Bravo, they can take out a few of the recapturers from the enemy, the opposite team.
Losing B. Enemy spy plane incoming.
Person takes Alpha here, only watching for a lightweight person who's running around. They can make it if they have Marathon and lightweight and an SMG, but other than that, they can use their Semtex or cooked frags to cover Bravo from a retake when our Bravo team spread out, or if they fail. And because a lot of people run Flak Jacket, that person can run through and cover Bravo with his primary weapon. So this person here is throwing a couple of stuns which come out a lot quicker, and a follow-up frag will take care of the car explosion that I missed, because taking out the Jeep generally gets you a kill, and then they can move on to their warehouse covered role, as you saw there. Player 5, now he's someone who takes Bravo, and his particular role is to take Bravo and then move on to either the firing range or into under the warehouse to cover the Charlie spawn and push them down into that firing range spawn. Last player on the team, 6 versus 6 obviously, a large Semtex throw. that was a little too high. You want to do a jumping throw and go for length there. But he can cover the person who gets up on top of the warehouse, take Bravo, and then head down to the firing range. So while we're here, I want you to pay attention to the mini-map. You'll see that there's a person just behind him who's covering the Charlie warehouse. These two people need to communicate quite a lot because the role here is to take care of the firing range spawn, tell someone when they're down, and then move back to Bravo if it needs help from another direction. And here's a real example of a nade in-game where this person's role was to nade and then come back for the alpha cap, even though it was capped just as he got back there.
Opening on the C flag of firing range can be more advantageous due to the fact that you spawn a lot closer to your home flag and spawn a lot closer to the B flag. The A side people must travel a larger distance to get to even just the A flag, and obviously a further distance to get to the B flag. So it's more likely that you're going to capture both C and B starting on the C side. Player 1's task here, played by Jeff himself, is to push round the back of the white trailer through the small firing range to get and cut off people from getting the A flag from their spawn. We call this the annoyer. He'll then proceed through the middle of the map to help protect and maybe assist in the capture of B itself. Player 2's role was to get into the blue building in the middle of the map and protect the people capturing B from construction site. And she sees he's unfortunate enough to get a lucky stick on him and dies. This player 3, is myself, captures C as far away as possible from that jeep because we have shown you how it can be used against you. And this nade and stun grenade are just another protective measure to help people on B and cutting people off from the construction building. Push around to the sandbags to help protect B once I've captured C. Player 4, his only task was to run through this building, get to B and capture it. That stun was just to slow down people, anybody coming from the spawn of A that didn't capture A at all. And that nade is perfect for that window, so you might want to remember that spot. He'll pull back and look down this firing range because that is normally where the enemy teams spawn once things get settled. Player 5, again, like Player 4, only task was to get to the B flag and capture it. So he throws out a nade and a cautionary stun, but takes the flag from a different position, so hopefully that if they do throw a nade on there, they shouldn't get a double kill. And there's Jeff pushing around to help protect the B. So in this real life example of Jeff playing, first off he'll show you this amazing throw, and we'll go into more detail with it. But this throw here is to try and stop or just deter people from capturing A. So again, straight onto the B flag, goes prone and snaps the target pretty quickly up here. I don't even know how he's seen that. But pulls back, sees that somebody's covering the sandbags, so pulls back to look down the large firing range, constantly communicating with his team that he's there. Hears that losing B, so pulls back. Boom, dead. Straight back to the firing range because this is a huge spawn point in this map. The other team haven't even captured the A flag yet. So he sees that our team are pushing heavy onto the A side, so that normally means that they're going to start spawning in that bottom firing range. And we'll see here, Ninja Fluffy not there, is in a lot of action. Now they're losing Charlie. And boom, defense. So this nade spot is prime for getting A. This one isn't perfect, we'll show you. He gets a lucky kill, and he slows it down here. You want to aim a little higher so the arc drops it directly on top of the flag. And he'll show you in this theatre mode that it goes a bit long and hits the tree and gets one lucky kill. And that's firing range for you guys.
Well guys, that's part 1 of Firing Range Domination Chess. Part 2 will be out shortly. Until then, see ya.